Hello, I am Wesley. I am a senior studying a dual in IT and economics. I also was the former chapter president.
Wait, hold on, stop. Can Tracy mute her mic because I hear two Wesleys?
Wait, oh, okay. How do I?
Imagine having two Wesleys. That's crazy.
Oh, God.
It's
Let's
too
not.
many. Too
All
many.
right. Next speaker, please introduce yourself.
Was that his intro?
Yes, that was his intro.
Oh, that was so bad. All right, I'm Chris.
Excuse you.
I'm Chris. Aerospace engineering major. Transfer student, class 2022. Hello.
Hi, I'm Min. I'm rising sophomore, CS major.
I can go. Okay. Hi, I'm T. I'm a rising junior, math major with a bio minor.
Sonu, you're muted. Also, introduce yourself, please.
I'm Sonu. I am a rising junior aeronautical engineering major, the actual proper aero major.
Okay.
They're changing the name. They're changing the name from aeronautical to aerospace officially.
We can argue about this later, Chris.
It's not an argument. I went into an entire orientation talking about it.
Okay. Yeah, this is our third podcast, which is housing at RPI.
Not bad.
Question 1. What are important things I should pack? What should I not pack? And I think this will be probably based on freshman dorms and sophomore dorms.
So when we're answering this question, are we answering it on as if we were freshmen? What would we bring, right?
Yeah, but keep in mind that freshmen are also living in sophomore housing and junior housing.
Mm-hmm.
The rules are still pretty much the same, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll hit it off, right? So one of the important things, especially if you are living in, I would say sophomore housing, right? But freshman housing still applies, is having a supply of toilet paper and like paper towels, tissue paper, right? Because when you are on sophomore housing, say for example RAPs A or B, right? No one comes in and cleans your bathroom, right? This is all maintained by you guys, right? The people living there. If you are living in, this is the part where I'm not too sure, right? If you're living in Freshman Hill, normally there is someone that that housekeeping comes in and cleans the bathroom either once a day or once a week, depending on what kind of dorm you're in. I don't think that has changed because of Corona. I think that still remains the same. But if you do find yourself living somewhere, say Blitman, Raps A, B, Stacks, Quacks, I don't know, right? Whatever they're called. Make sure you bring toilet paper, paper towels, so you're able to clean up the area and clean up your kitchen, clean up your toilet, wipe things down, and keep things important, like sanitary and clean for you. Because that's one thing I don't see a lot of people talk about. Is everyone talks about bring your mini fridge, bring your microwave, bring this, bring that, right? But no one talks about stuff like the toilet paper, the tissue paper, the paper towels. That stuff is important.
But that kind of stuff you can already buy around the place.
True, but
In general, it's important for now.
Mm-hmm.
Those are important. Like what Wesley talked about, like especially during these times, keep especially sophomore housing, junior housing, where no one comes in. Make sure you're well supplied, like equipped with like cleaning supplies. So yeah, no one wants to live in a dirty dorm.
Also, one thing about what Wesley said for the people coming in to clean the bathroom, in my experience, that happened only once in RAPs, like for an entire semester. So I'm not really sure how that is scheduled. So don't rely on those cleaners. Usually, you should probably prefer to do it yourself.
I know that in BARH they came once a week.
In Blitman, they
clean the
came once a week
bathroom.
as well.
Yeah, just for the bathrooms though, not for like your actual room. So you do have to keep your actual like room area clean.
Mm-hmm. Right. But then moving away from the cleanliness. Now, although cleanliness and hygiene is very important, right? I think the other stuff is very standard on what you should pack, right? I'm sure there's millions upon millions of websites and lists online that you can find that already say like this is what the stuff that you should bring, this is stuff that you should not bring, right? I think the stuff that people are not allowed to bring are universal across all the colleges in the U.S. Right? Don't bring like a gun, don't bring knives, right? Unless you're cooking with them. Don't bring anything flammable. Don't bring cameras, extension cables. Don't bring pets, right? The stuff like that. Pretty much universal across all the other universities, right? But it's very simple that you can go online and you can get a very rough checklist of things that you want to bring. So yeah, there's that. That's a resource for you. But personally, right, I'm always an overpacker. I love to overpack. Love is a strong word. I don't say love, but I always tend to overpack. So for me, I always have a lot of snacks on hand. Right? Either they're in the form of cup ramen, potato chips, seaweed, shrimp crackers, instant rice. I always have a little stash of snacks somewhere in my room, hidden away. Just in case, one day you're starving, you're hungry, right? And dining hall's closed, I can't go out anymore. I don't feel like leaving, right? You can just open up, a little pack of ramen in your room and you can have that, right? So having a little stash of some sort of snacks doesn't have to be too crazy. You don't got to go crazy like me, right? But having some food around in your room is definitely helpful, especially if you're going to be under quarantine when you first move up here.
Going off what Wesley said, if you're the type to like caffeine, I would suggest bringing a kettle, maybe a coffee maker, just so you can always have some nice hot drinks on hand.
What Wesley said, in terms of pets, you can bring fish, but only fish and nothing else.
And that's up to a 10-gallon tank, I think.
Yeah.
And also for certain sophomore housings like Stackwyck, Blitman, Rahp's A and B, and Polytech, which is a junior housing, you need to bring your own light because they don't provide that unless it's in the bathroom.
Going off of that, Rahp's A and B, I believe the living room lights are not that great. They don't really have lights in the living room. So,
right, so I can I can go off of that since I lived in Rahp's A. So the lights, it gets dim. You can just call fix it to them and they'll replace it. Really bring in when you get there, buy like a tall lamp for your living room. And that's actually pretty much it. I had in my Rahp's living room, I had two, like one of those tall standing lamps, and that's it because like the lights on the top floor is really bright. It's like nice, and that's pretty much it for lights. Anything else, like if you like fixing, you just call fix it, and you can get it done in a day.
Right. And just to add on lighting, keeping things bright. I like things that are bright. Every room should come with a few standard items. Right. Every room you should have a bed frame, right, with a mattress already provided. Right? And this bed frame you can lift, you can raise it, you can lower it, you can loft it. Right. Although I do believe there are special guidelines if you do intend to loft your bed. And for those of you that don't know what it means, it's basically raise your whole bed so the bed's over your desk and you have a desk underneath, and that will save some space. So you have that. You will have a drawer with, I think, 3 drawers, and it's fairly spacious, right? 3 drawers, and depending on what dorm you have, I do know that Rahp's they also have a closet, right? A standing closet. So that is also something you can look forward to if you are in places like RAPS. I don't think the majority of freshmen dorms would have. I know some of them would. I know Barton has a closet, right? But I can't speak for all of them. But these are things you should expect already there. You will have a chair, a very simple chair, and you'll have a desk, right? You'll have a little table desk, right? On this table desk, right, there's also a few other drawers that you can have, little smaller drawers, right? And you should also have a desk light, right? On your desk, there should be somewhere along the top, there should be a desk light. So there is a table light. So I wouldn't say it's important that you do bring a table desk, but there's already one provided. But most of the time in upperclassmen housing like RAPS and such, there is no light in your own room. So you have to get a floor lamp or something of the sort.
True, there is no lighting in our rooms.
As for types of lights, you can't bring halogen lamps or bulbs for replacements, and you can't. Something that's popular among people are strip lights. You can't bring those into the dorms either. But I haven't like met anyone who had them and gotten reprimanded for them, but it's stated in the rules, and I'm not really sure how they deal with those.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
can bring battery-powered string lights, though.
I think, Kevin, I think this is your job. I have the chat pulled up on my side, but there was a question on limit on electricity usage for each room. And Kevin, you're doing a terrible job of being a moderator. But no hate, I'm not hating, right? But no, let me answer that question, right? So there technically is no limit on usage, right? There is a funny story though. There is a limit on the internet usage instead of the electricity, right? This is a little bit before my time, right? Back when I was a wee boy, when I was a young freshman, right? I heard a story about there was a guy who was a year older, a few years older than me, right? And he basically ran a Bitcoin mining operation in his room, right? He had a double, right? He lived in a double room with another person. The other guy moved out, so he had the whole room for himself. He basically converted his whole room into a Bitcoin miner, right? And he had desktops, he had computers over computers, and he just sucked out all the power and the electricity and the internet, right? That just killed it all. And because of that, I think now the internet is limited, right? So if you are, I don't know, you're a streamer, you play competitive video games, I don't think the school Wi-Fi will be good for you. It's doable. It's completely fine. You can still play games on it, but it's not the best. But I don't think there is a cap on electricity, right? So
Technically, you can blow out the fuse if you want. You just honestly, there's no limit on the power. Your rent doesn't go up. That's the good thing. As for the internet limit, I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. Because if you're an avid gamer, I don't think anyone has had issues with using up their limit. I've never heard of this before. So that should be fine, I guess.
If we're good on this question, we can move on to the next one.
Oh, actually, one thing that I want to bring up, make sure you bring business clothes. Very important.
Oh, true.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes.
Even
So
though
we
like
have,
the career fair, sorry,
Yeah.
even if the career fair is like online, you still want to look very presentable.
right. But to add on that, business clothes are important, but not pants. You don't need to bring professional pants, right?
Because it's online.
Right? Because you're looking at me right now. I got a nice shirt on. Normally you would button this up a little bit, maybe have a tie,
Please.
right? But no one's gonna ask you to stand up, right? I'm wearing pants, don't worry, right? No one can ask you to stand up, right? So even if you don't have oh crap, I don't have a suit, I don't have a full suit, right? All you need is a nice clean dress shirt, right? Honestly, that's all you need, right? You don't need a blazer. Ties are optional, right? But all you need is one clean dress shirt, especially since everything's going to be online. That's all you need. You don't have to shell out, $500, $800 for the latest Tom Ford suit. They are nice. You get one. They are nice. Tom Ford. But you don't need it. All you need is a nice dress shirt, and that's it.
What should I do if I get locked out of my room or lose my key/ID?
Okay, so for freshmen, it's easier because every RA should start like a group chat on like GroupMe or something, so you can just text them about it. Or if you're like already in the building but you like lost your key, then just like knock on their door. They'll be there with you. If not, I guess you have to wait. But for like sophomore, I know in raps it's kind of hard to like get your to find your RA because they probably won't be there because like it's like very like far apart from each other, so kind of hard to get to them. Just try not to lose it. That's the best advice to give. Just try not to lose it. Just clip it into your ID, and then because like your key is your ID, and then you have that lanyard. Always have that with you, and then you should be fine.
Actually, I've had experience with this before. I was moving in, and it was very windy, and I was walking out to grab more stuff, and the door closed behind me because of the wind, and I got locked out. However, luckily, you keep your people usually keep their phone on them 24/7. So, what you should do if you cannot contact your RA is call what's it called?
PubSafe.
Yeah, PubSafe. You call PubSafe, and they will they have like master keys, so they will come and open the door for you. But you do have to give some kind of verification that you do live in that dorm.
Mm-hmm. So the standard operation, right? So this is what Ari is going to tell you at the beginning of the year. If you lose your key, your room key, right? First thing you should do is contact your roommates, right? Your roommates could either, or your suite mates, depending on where you live. You either ring the doorbell like, "Yo, bud, I'm locked out," right? Or if you text a friend like, "Oh, I just got out of class, I'm coming back up right now," and you just chill out for a little bit, right? So first thing the RA is gonna make you do is check with your roommate. We'll see when they're coming back, right? That's not available, right? The roommate's like, "Dude, I'm in the Bahamas for the whole month, bro. I'm out," right? Then you screw
right now.
right? And after that, then you would go to your RA, right? If your RA is not available, right, you go to your RD, right? RA means it stands for resident assistant. RD is basically the boss of your RA, is resident director, right? This is the big boy, the big boss, right? The RD and the RA are not there. Then your last resort is to call PubSafe, right? PubSafe is public safety. They are the campus police force, right? They are the extreme last case scenario that you normally would not need to call PubSafe, right? Because you would use the other options, and the other options would work, right? But last case scenario, we'll definitely be calling PubSafe, right? For the ID though, right? This is a little bit more tricky, right? Because you lose your ID, you lose a lot of privileges that you don't expect. Some dorms you need your ID to swipe in to access. Some labs and some buildings, right? Especially if you're doing research, if you're like you need to enter a certain building, you need your key, your ID to scan in and swipe it, right? You can't enter the library, you can't enter the DCC, right? There's a lot of things you lose privilege. So IDs are very, very important not to lose. But it has happened before, right? And it's fine. What would happen is if you lose your ID, first thing you should do is report a lost ID to PubSafe. You call them like, "Hey, I lost my ID," and they're like, "Okay, sure." They're gonna deactivate it, right? They're gonna deactivate your old ID, right? And they'll tell you, "Okay, come down to the PubSafe office, which is on campus." They'll give you a temporary card for now, right? So you're able to access your dorms, you're able to access your labs and whatnot. And after a few days, they will give you a actual replacement, right, with your own photo and whatnot. The temporary one doesn't have a photo, right? I do believe that I think the first time you lose it, they replace it for free. The second time it's like $20 or something. Am I right? Someone correct me on this.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So the first time you lose it, no biggie, right? And then the second time you got to pay some cash, right? So it's not the end of the world, right? But do know it is, it's a little bit of a work to get a new one.
I would also like to add that if you do get locked out of your room, you can also go to Student Living and Learning, and they do have people there with keys who can come and unlock rooms for you.
And where are they located at?
I honestly don't know.
Is it?
Okay. Student service and living is if you are on Freshman Hill. In the center of Freshman Hill is Commons Dining Hall. It's underneath Commons Dining Hall, right? So if you're lost, just circle around Commons a little bit, and you'll see a sign that says Student Living and Learning.
Anything else?
One thing I do to keep track of my ID is going back to how everyone has their phone on them nowadays. If you get a case that can store cards in it, that's one easy way to keep track of your ID.
Okay, question 3. What are important things to know when setting up your apartment/dorm?
I think it's just preference.
Your beds will be twin XL, so they're like longer than normal twin beds, so you do have to make sure you get the correct sheets for them.
Yeah. Other than that, it's just like the basic, like arranging it so that you have the, convenient access to your outlet. Right. So the heaters. I think this is both like freshman and sophomore housing, and maybe I think junior housing. Like the heaters can get really hot in the winter, and you can't control your heater in freshman year, so freshman dorms. So just like make sure wherever you have your bed, like if it's like the window, then the heaters are here. Then just be careful with like the bed, because mine has gotten like really hot against it, like really really hot, and just like be careful of where you place your stuff like near heaters. Yeah, that's about that.
Yeah, I had a funny story. When I was a lot younger, right? I used to live in Rahp, right? And I don't tell the admin, right? But I had a fan, a unit, a large fan unit, a AC fan unit, right? And I accidentally leaned it up against the heater, right? And the heater automatically turns on, right? No matter when you want to turn on, it turns on when the admin, the housing department says, okay, let's turn it on. It's reached this temperature. And I didn't realize that it basically melted some of the plastic that I pushed up against the heater, because I didn't know when it would turn on, right? But I do believe you are able to control the temperature of the heater, right? But you're not able to control when it turns on.
How?
Right? That's what.
How would you control it?
There's a knob. There's a knob. If you get down on the ground and you look at it, there's a knob that you're able to control the temperature, like how intense you want it.
This is some information I could have used.
I do know that in BARH they have thermostats. So, like right by the bathroom, there's like a little thing with a knob on it, and you just turn it to whatever temperature you want it to be.
Oh, that's convenient. Yeah, in Raps A and Raps B, the heater is like, it's like on the ground, and then on like the edge of it, the beginning of it or end of it, there's like just a knob.
Mm-hmm.
And then just play around with that. It's depending on the heater too, because I know mine was really sensitive to how much I like turned it. So you just kind of know. There's like no labels on either. It's just a knob.
Now, of course, not everyone is interior design major. Not everyone knows interior design, but at least for me, like I don't know anything, and I just was I was really close. I had a really close friend who was an architect. Who was in architecture, right? And he basically gave me tips like, oh no, have your bed over here, have your desk over there. It makes a lot more sense. There's a lot of feng shui you gotta worry about, right? No, but here's a question for everyone, you guys, right? What's the craziest setup you guys have seen? Like either a roommate or a friend. What's like the craziest setup that you saw them like have their stuff laid out and moved around, right? Because I'm pretty sure in your time you've seen roommates living in doubles. They collaborate and coordinate, arranging the room, and then they just have this really crazy setup. Right? So what's your crazy setup story?
I do know of a person who had a double room, but no roommate. So they took the two beds, squished them together, duct taped them, and they had basically a very large bed. Unfortunately,
King bed.
they were told they were not allowed to do it, so had to put it back.
Wait, that sounds like Wesley, actually. He did the same thing.
Yeah, no, that's what I did back my freshman year. I'm not gonna get into the details. It's a long story. If you want to know more, come find me. Right, but my roommate moved out after the first semester, and I'm like, oh dang, I got the whole room to myself. Like, it's pretty nice, right? But my RA kept coming and telling me, like, dude, there could be someone that's gonna move in, right? Like, from that's gonna be moving in, and they're gonna sign him to your room, right? And it's gonna get weird, right? When they see the two beds stuck together, like, what are they gonna do? Cuddle? Like, I'm not against it. I'll cuddle. I'm a cuddler, right? But no, what I did was, for my story is, freshman year, I put the two beds together, right? Pushed them over to one side of the room. One bed was slightly elevated over the other one, so it was like a couch. And then I had a projector. My friend had a projector. I put it underneath, right? And it basically became a little home theater, right? People on the top bunk of the bed, people on the lower one, people on the floor, projector onto the other side of the blank wall. That was a movie night and a half, right? There's another friend I had who, in a different dorm when I was a freshman, I forgot what they did, but they had this huge TV, right? It's this huge television, right? I think it was like 50 inches, right? So you walk in and you just see the TV. The beds are over here on the side. It's just like, and then they put the beds together and they can just play there. On the PS4, I forgot what they had. It was a really nice setup. They had the little Christmas lights all around. Posters. It was a tight ass room. Yeah, it was nice.
I just have a question. It's unrelated, but how often do they check your rooms?
Once a month?
No,
Not
I'd
that
say once
frequently.
every
Right?
2 months. I'd say once every 2 months. Because they check for RAPs be at least. There were 2 notices for an entire semester.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna check. So I'd say once every 2 months.
Freshman I think is more frequent though.
Right. Yeah,
Also,
it is.
one thing you have to understand when deciding how to decorate and what stuff to bring in is that by the end of by the end of a year, you're going to be moving out. So all the stuff you're bringing into the dorms, you're going to need to make sure that you can bring out at the same time. Because I've seen some people pack a whole bunch of stuff, and they had to have 2 cars for some reason. Just keep that in mind. Keep it moderate.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bring the bare minimum, but don't bring your entire house.
Yeah.
Like mentor, like mentee. That's true. That is true. This man was about to repeat the same words I said on the first day.
What's the next question?
I have something to say I have something to say. So for what Chris said, like the decorating on the walls stuff, there's a rule where you can put stuff on the wall, but it can't cover a certain percentage. I'm not sure.
10%, I think.
10%, yeah. Literally, I had like so many posters on my walls. They don't really care as long as it's like freaking like whole tapestry covering the whole wall. Tapestries aren't even allowed anyway. So just be aware like how much you're like covering the walls as well, because that's considered a fire hazard.
You also can't put things on top of dressers because that is also considered a fire hazard.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Another thing you can't do is you can't hang shit on the pipes, right?
Oh
yeah. There are pipes all over in the building, and some of them are pretty high up. But there was a pipe in the middle of my room, and I'm like, oh, I can just hang this up and dry my clothes. Because why the hell not, right? And then the RA's like, yeah, you can do that. I'm like, okay, I'll take it down. I should have known, right? After my freshman year, the people would just hang on the pipes like it's a goddamn jungle gym, right? And in a different dorm, I think someone like I'm not going to call them out, right? But it's not like it takes a lot of weight, but this dude was just swinging around and broke the water pipe, and that shit just like snapped in half. So don't swing on the pipes, don't hang shit on the pipes, or it's shit's gonna happen.
Dude, how come he can say bad words and I can't?
Chris,
No,
you said
Chris.
it. What do you mean? You literally said it. I have a
There's like,
follow-up question. How often are the fire drills?
there are no.
Depends on how
Okay,
badly people
actually,
make popcorn. Depends on how badly they make popcorn around. Did you know that Aiden, you guys know Aiden, right? Aiden once made ramen without putting in water. Mike
That's like one of my friends.
Wait, I remember
It-
this.
it was just normal donkey like looking cup ramen, right? He just put it into the microwave, and then he asked a question afterwards. He took a picture of it, right? Smoldering, it's black, it's ashes, right? And he sent the picture to his SASE mentor, like, how do you cook ramen? Are you supposed to put water before or after? Because Jesus Christ, right? So, but fire drills don't happen too often. Right? They happen less frequently than, say, the health and safeties, right? But there are people who are culinary inexperienced, and they and you know,
I had
there-
something in my throat.
right? But even if you're culinary experienced, right? You know, for me, one time I was cooking and I set off the alarm in the neighbor's house, right? I'm like, how did that happen? I don't know how that worked.
I have a video of the.
Right? I was cooking in my house, but the next door guy's fire alarm went off. Like, no, all right, but no. Does that? Any other questions?
Something to add. Like, I
Oh,
don't think
what?
anything's gonna prepare you, but the fire drills are really loud and they happen like at all times. So once it happened at 4 a.m. when we were all trying to sleep. So just keep that in mind. And also, there are two different types of drills. One is the actual one where the firefighters would come, and the second one is just the drill. So there's no firefighters.
In my experience at RAPS B, because people have their own kitchen. No, I'm trying to talk. Because people have their own kitchens, and people are usually not culinarily gifted, you should probably expect a fire alarm maybe once a month, I'd say. But if you're lucky, you won't have to deal with that.
If things are smoking and it's not really dangerous, you can get a wet cloth and like wave it around in front of the fire alarm, and that should prevent it from going off.
I remember there's this one time.
Boy,
Another
we're not
story
story time
No,
right
no, no, it's entertaining, right? I had a friend who, the fire alarm went off, and we were all outside. We all crowded outside. It's the middle of November, right? And I'm just like, we're all cold as hell, and we're like, oh wait, where's the big guy? Where's the moose? Where'd he go? Right? His nickname was the Moose because he was a big fella, right? And where'd he go? And we went back inside, and we see him towel over his waist coming out of the shower. He's like, where did everyone go? I was in the shower. We're like, dude, we had a fire alarm. I couldn't hear it. I was blasting music in the shower, and then he was like showering, and then the firefighters came in, and he quickly wrapped his towel in. He was talking to a bunch of big, burly men in the firefighter outfits, and he's just in his towel with shampoo in his head, right? And then he's like, that's mad awkward. I can also say that sometimes I have slept through fire alarms, right? And I look at it, and I'm like, you know what? I die, right? And I just kept on sleeping.
Don't moral of the long TLDR story. Don't be like Wesley. Just don't be like Wesley.
Are we good on this question?
Yep.
Next question.
So now we're actually basically going over like the different dorms. So the way we're going to be breaking it up is into Freshman Hill and then East Campus and West Campus. So just to like give context to that, so the Freshman Hill dorms are like right around here, and then the East Campus dorms are like these few on right over here, and then West Campus is like Blitman Quad, and then it's not on the map, but there's also city station apartments. So,
So for getting E complex and north.
talk about Freshman Hill.
Right, E complex and north are still a thing, right?
They're not going to be used in the fall, actually.
Oh, never mind. Then.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah.
Why?
Floor baths. There's no suites. That's why.
So why are they using Freshman Hill?
Yeah.
They're just using like there's like 10 dorms in Freshman Hill, and they're only using the 5 that have like bathrooms inside the rooms, so that it's like 2 people per bathroom.
Oh, so like
so it's the
Barton.
better ones, the bigger ones, anyways.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Freshman Hill. Freshman Hill. Well, that was a crazy time back in freshman.
Less.
Back in my day. Another back in my day story.
But no, you guys, if you guys are watching, right, you can see the pictures right now on the slides. But if you are listening and not being able to watch, right, there are pictures on the internet, like all the dorms, right? I swear to God, they all look the same, right? So if you just go on Google like college dorm, right, you will see pictures of these, right? They're not that special. There's not much crazy about it, right? You have limited space, and you know, it's not that pretty, right? But people make do. People make do, right? And if you are interested in seeing RPI rooms, I just thank you the chat for coming up with this. There's a website called rpirooms.com, right? And there are pics of, I believe there are people who upload their rooms up there, right? And it's a good idea, like to get a sense of what kind, how you can set up your room.
If any of you are in Warren Hall, I have a friend who's an RA. If y'all are afraid to ask her, I can ask for it. But yeah, so in Freshman Hill, it's okay to be like close with your RA and all that stuff. They're like students as well. So they like understand you. I know a lot of people are just like, they're either like timid of asking their RA for things and then treat them as if they're officials or something. No, they're students like you guys. So all friendly. Don't be afraid of your RAs or RDs.
Speaking of being friendly with your RA, I have another story to tell.
They also give you good connections.
They do. They really do. Right.
Yeah.
One time back in my freshman year, my RA was super chill, right? And I'm surprised he put up with my crap for the entire year, because I was right next to the RA, literally the door right next to me. And I didn't get in trouble too much, keyword, right? But there was one time we were in we're still in the same hall, the same floor. We were in someone else's room and we were playing, what was that? I think we were playing Rocket League, right? Well, back then, right? We were all playing Rocket League. There's like 5 of us in the room. And it was definitely beyond quiet hours. And we're just playing games. And the RD comes up, right? And the RD like, hey, what are you guys doing? Right? It's past quiet hours. I'm like, oh no, don't worry. Our RA is right there. And then the RD peeks their head in, and the RD's like, hey, what's up? And you're just like, what the heck? You're supposed to be watching these kids. They're like, no, he's having fun, right? So RAs, they're here to make sure things don't go into chaos. Like, at the end of the day, they're still people. They're still like students as well. And getting to know them and being you don't have to be friends with people you're living with, right? Especially your roommate, right? Yeah, a lot of everyone says, oh, be best friends with your roommates. It'd be so great. You don't have to be best friends with your roommate, right? I'm pretty sure my roommate hated me, right? And I hated my roommate too, right? But that's a story for a different time, right?
Any roommate would hate you.
Hey, watch your mouth, kid.
Yes.
What? That's what?
But no, right? You don't have to be friends with them, but if you do, right, they are available to you, right? And real talk right now, right? If you are going through a rough patch, right, in your life, you're not feeling well up here, right? I mean, if you're not feeling well anywhere else, you go see the goddamn hospital, right? But if you're not feeling well up here, the RAs are supposed to report the situation. They're here. They won't tell anyone. They're here to be a guide and to help you out and to give you advice and help you find the correct people to help you take care of whatever's going on. I think this is all for Freshman Hill. Can we move on?
Mhm.
Ooh, raps. I want to talk about raps.
Yes.
So,
Rahp's best dorm.
imagine you move into your dorms. You're expecting a one-story small little cottage. No, raps. If you get into A or B, you get a two-story apartment, kind of, whatever. Used to be shared with between 4 people, but because of this coronavirus situation, you're going to be sharing it with one other person. So if you get into Raps B or Raps A, you got lucky. However, the downside is it is very far from the academics side of the campus. It's like a good 20-minute walk.
So
If you have longer life, it should take you 15 minutes.
yeah, right. But no, I did an experiment with a friend when I was living at Raps, right? I lived in Raps B, the farthest one, right? There are shuttles that will go up there, but we basically tested, right? So I got on the shuttle, right, and my friend would walk from Raps B to the Union, right? And we timed each other, right? We timed how long it took us. My friend walked there faster than it took the shuttle to get there. Reason because of that, right? It's because the shuttle, people are getting off, people are getting on, right? And there's a lot of stops, there's traffic. Well, when you walk, right, you can speed down over there, right? So, although it is far, right? But sometimes it's better if you walk down there. But if it's snowing like crazy, I would say better if you take the bus. I don't want you slipping and cracking your head, right?
It's even worse this year because the shuttles are limited to how many people per shuttle?
I think it's like 4.
4 people per shuttle. On top of that, the shuttle schedule is very, very inconsistent.
Ooh, tell me about it.
Yeah, so if you're tracking a shuttle, don't use like the one where it has like all the times and stuff. Use like the live one because the times.
Yeah. Get somebody to link the shuttle tracker somewhere, I guess.
That one's very useful. You're sitting there, you're waiting to get down to your 8 a.m. It's like 7:15, and you're like, God dang, where's the shuttle, man? Right? But
you look at you look at the map. A shuttle looks like it's coming towards you. You're tired. You want to go home, and then it takes a left turn off into the distance because their shift just ended. But yeah. That's how the shuttles work. It's very sad.
Okay, but continuing on with some more important details, right? Because I realize we're out of time. Something I forgot to bring up is laundry, right? Laundry is free for all students, right? You don't got to bring no coins. You don't got to bring no credit card. Absolutely free, right? So you can do your laundry as many times as you want. You can do your parents' laundry as many times as you want. You can do your roommate's laundry as many times as you want. Absolutely for free. All you got to do is bring your clothes, your detergent, you put it in there, click the buttons, and you're set, right? There is a app. I personally have never used it, right? But I know there is an app that RPS students developed in the past where you can basically track when your laundry is going to be done, right? I mean, I never used it. I heard it's bad, right?
It doesn't work at all. I've tried it. Like it's like super.
It's not a timer.
Yeah, I expected
Honestly,
nothing less
guys.
from RPI students. I expected nothing less. I mean, RPI students can barely make anything work.
All right, one thing you have to know when doing laundry: do not, and I mean do not, leave your laundry in the machine longer than it needs to. Once it's done, once the washing machine is done or the dryer machine is done, make sure you get to it on time or like a little bit after, but do not leave it for more than like 10 minutes because more often than not, for some odd reason, people are very impatient, and if you leave your clothes in there for longer than it has to, they will take your stuff out and leave it out in the open for no good reason.
Yeah, people will do that.
That I've seen
Any
piles
dorm.
and piles of laundry, wet laundry, dry laundry, unfinished laundry, all over the place. You do not want to be don't be one of those people who take the laundry out, but don't be one of those victims who have their laundries taken out. Set your alarm for the right time. Make sure you be there. Make sure to be there before your laundry finishes or by the time it does finish.
This is
You can
because
also
amount of machines available. Like up in since East Campus, like there's only 6 washing machines and 6 dryers, all of RPI. Like there's a building like right in the middle of where RPI is, and I'm guessing same with Reps B. But there's only 6 among all of you guys. So just have your laundry done like on time. Take them out on time. Pick like times when people aren't like busy, I guess. And yeah.
The best times are usually Monday and Thursday afternoons and evenings. Monday and Thursday afternoons and evenings, right? Because usually that's when people have the most classes, and in Monday and Tuesday, right in between that, people usually have a lot of work.
Or if you're an insomniac like me, you could do your laundry at 1 a.m. and usually people don't do it by then. But
this is RPI. People are up at 1 a.m. People are definitely up at 1 a.m. Insomniac would do laundry at like 5 a.m. That's an insomniac. 1 a.m.
Yeah, I've seen
standard RPI.
3 a.m.
That 5 a.m. are people who wake up way too early for class. 1 a.m. is for people who cannot sleep.
I was doing laundry at 2:30 in the morning, and all the machines were in use in Blitman.
Oh, seriously? All of y'all are nocturnal.
That's not what happens in Raps B, I guess. I guess it's just a Raps B thing.
Should we also talk about some of the other?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, you were saying?
Should we also talk about some of the other dorms?
I mean,
Kevin, Colonie.
Yeah, I guess I can
talk
talk on
about
that
your
behalf.
asbestos-filled colony.
Yeah, so this is one of the older dorms on campus that were built with materials that have already been banned from a lot of the newer buildings, like with stricter codes. But Colonie is set up as it's essentially two rooms with a wall taken down in the middle, with a shared bathroom in between. You have 2 separate hallways, entryways technically, but they only give you the key set for one of the doors, so the other door is essentially useless. Colonie is pictured on the top left picture, so you're going to be given what is it called, like the desk with the integrated storage spaces, and then you get like a mini sofa, or sometimes you get like a chair even, and you also get a dresser, like a short dresser. Yeah, but the thing is, Colonie is kind of weird because it has integrated closets, like slide closets, and then you also have your typical bed. And a lot of the furniture will differ based on where you live and how much storage like they have for you already. So keep that in mind. A lot of times they will tell you on RPI rooms what kind of amenities you get, like specifically what furniture you get. If you get a chair or one of these mini lounge chairs, I guess, whatever. But yeah, it's pretty chill. Same. It's basically another version of freshman housing. Only difference being it's more apartmentalized with private bathrooms. But yeah.
Where is it located, Kevin?
It is located literally on the farthest end of campus possible, near Rite Aid on Burdett. I think it's the farthest from campus.
Yeah.
Like distance
Do you
wise.
mind going back to the map of all of them? Just for a brief second for the people watching.
Basically, if you are planning for Colonie, also plan to have a car because it's not like dry. Like
I mean, you can walk.
you can
walking is
walk,
not
but it's
bad.
like 20-30 minutes
Hold on,
So
wait. Can students bring or can freshmen bring cars? I thought they couldn't.
No, they cannot.
Yeah.
no, but this is a
They're not
reference for
allowed.
like for sophomores and if like freshmen want to like have reference for sophomore house.
It's not that you can't, right? It's not like it's illegal, right? It's just
Parking pass.
RPI will not give you a parking permit, right?
Parking
You park
permits.
on campus, right? You can definitely bring a car and just park it a little bit further away off campus, right? And that's completely fine, right? It's just that RPI will not give you the parking pass to be able to park on campus, right? If you have a car and you're a freshman, you can definitely bring it. Okay.
Wait, just to go back to laundry real quick, all the dorms have the laundry machines in the building except for RAPs A and B. Those are outside. So if you're gonna do it at night,
Yeah.
just be careful.
Well, not outside. They're outside in a different building.
Yes, they're outside
Right.
in different buildings.
Entirely different building. Yeah.
Yeah, it's its own
outdoor
building.
Laundry.
Is there more slides we need to get through? Is there any more slides we need to get through?
There's
I have
also
a
Talk
question
about
though.
BARH a little bit.
and there's West Campus.
Yes. But
Oh,
like
nice.
BARH is built on a hill, so it is kind of a maze. If you need to get to the exit, make sure you actually follow the exit signs, and there will be a door by the stairway. Do not follow the stairway all the way to the first floor, you will get lost. But there's basically just a suite, which is 2 rooms, and a bathroom connecting them.
For West Campus, I had a few friends down there. It's really easy if you want to go access downtown Troy, right? You know, for the farmers market or to get some nice food. And the climb up on the approach, which is the staircase that leads up from downtown Troy to up the hill onto campus, it's not that bad, right? And it's not that bad, but if it's snowing and it's icy, don't risk it. I'd say.
Oh, yeah. What happened to the that Hudson River? I think I don't know that
The flooding?
the residential complex
Hudson Valley.
thing.
That's
yes,
that's only for upperclassmen though.
Oh, it's only for upperclassmen.
Mhm.
Oh.
All right. So, if I may present a question that an audience member technically presented earlier, where are the printers and how do you access them?
This was horrible. I never got it
Wait,
to work.
I got you.
Okay.
There's no, keep going. There's a website for this. I'm looking it up.
Oh.
Printers.rpi.edu, I think.
Yeah.
But basically, you have to do some fancy stuff to set up your printers. There's like an entire guide online somewhere. I don't know about other dorms, but in BARH, the printers would be A wing in like the downstairs area.
So there's one. Okay, in RPI, there will usually be at least one printer in every single building besides RAPs.
Mhm.
I know that the RAPs buildings do not have them. However, for RAPs B, there is a lounge building that's close to RAPs, specifically for the RAPs B people, and that building does have a printer. As for getting stuff to print, yeah, there's a whole process you can do on a laptop or on a PC or whatever you have. But there is also an app that you can download on your phone. That's so much easier because you don't have to set up anything at all. All you need to do for the app, I don't remember what the name of it is. Let me check it real quick, actually.
Regardless, printers are always going to be in the community areas of each and every single building, right? Yeah, academic and residential included, right? If you're in your dorm, there's always going to be one in the communal area of your dorm. If you're on academic campus, academic buildings, there's bound to be like a printer on every single floor. You just got to look for it. There'll always be one, right? Guarantees are like the VCC, the Fleetwood's Computer Center, and the Folsom Library. Those will always have computers.
So
I
the
sent
app is
you
called.
links to the chat.
Alright. So the app is called Mobility Print. I'm pretty sure you can find it on RPI website.
Mhm.
But that's also a way you can print stuff out if you don't want to set up your laptop.
Mhm. Any other questions, Kevin?
Nope, that's it.
As for 3D printing, however,
Oh
that's
my
a
God,
whole
here we go.
separate story. I know the Forge has a whole set of 3D printers. You have to go to those in person. I'm not sure about the 3D printers though. For scanning, when you're doing online courses, I'm not sure if any of the printers in RPI have a scanning option. Can somebody like confirm that?
Oh, yeah. So I know in the library there's a separate scanning scanner in the scanning room in the back of the library on the second floor, which is like the floor that you go into. So I know that's one scanner. I think up in the Union there's also a scanner. I think on like the third floor. Yeah. I just know those two scanners, but there's no like like printer and scanner in one. It's like separate.
Just take a picture of your document. You don't need to scan it. Just take a picture of it.
You have a scanning app.
That's
Yeah,
true.
scanning
Yeah.
apps and whatever. Those
No.
stuff is easy.
All right.
Yeah.
Do we have any more slides, or is this it?
This is the last one. But
Oh, okay.
Do we have any audience questions?
Any questions?
You want to ask me any questions? You can ask me how's my day going. You can ask me what I have for breakfast, what I'm eating right now. You can ask me anything. I can give you my number if you
ask
want.
you-
I'll give you my number.
I'll ask you something.
I don't want to answer any of your questions.
Also, these links, pretty sure all of these links will be posted on the YouTube description.
Yeah.
So if you guys like this and you want to see more videos like these, please leave a like,
Subscribe,
subscribe, and leave a comment down below.
Make sure to ring that bell. Notifications.